What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and in today's video we got a 2016 Yamaha R1S on the dyno. Now this R1S is a lesser expensive version of a Yamaha R1. It is not a normal R1. It's lacking a few features and lacking some horsepower, which we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But we have done a much needed upgrade on this thing. One, flashing and tuning the ECU. Two, we have added a Woolich Racing Quickshifter to this thing. That is a completely plug and play unit that is going to have the ability to have upshift and downshift without using the clutch. So this guy will be able to hold it wide open, boom, boom, boom. Shift his gears, let off the throttle, boom, boom, boom. Back downshift without ever pulling in the clutch. You're gonna like the way this thing sounds because we're doing the ultimate pops and bangs option on this one, guys. Stay with us. We got a fun one. Here we go. Alright guys, before we get too much farther into today's video, let's talk about how you can win this 2024 GSX-R 1000. All you'll have to do, go to the website, mooremafia.com, pick yourself up some merch, whether it be a hat, a keychain, a sticker, hoodie, anything you want from the website, that will get you eligible to win this 2024 GSX-R 1000. But wait, it has not started yet. We will release the official details on when the giveaway will begin soon. The bike is not finished. We're not ready. We're not finished with our content. We have not achieved our goals with this bike. But don't worry. The giveaway is coming soon. Be ready. March, April. It's coming soon. Alright, so I did the baseline pull without you guys before I grabbed the camera. And I'm like, you know what? We got to video this one, because this bad boy needs some help. So it made 158 horsepower and 74 foot-pounds of torque. You can see our air-fuel ratio. Kind of looks like a little kid's roller coaster. But don't worry guys, we're fixing all that stuff today. You can also see how this R1S, it doesn't rev anywhere near as high as a normal R1. It's only revving to about 12,000 RPMs from the factory, 11.9. You can see the power goes up and then literally tapers back off immediately. Well, we're gonna flash the ECU, get rid of those pesky restrictions, dial in the air-fuel ratio, and activate our Woolich Racing Quickshifter. Right now, let's go ahead and get the bike back running to make our new baseline pull. Then we're gonna fine-tune and adjust everything perfect. Here we go guys, ECU is flashed, Quickshifter is turned on. Oh, and I forget to mention, launch control enabled. Yeah, check this guys out. Check this out guys, you're gonna like this part. We got crazy noise, crazy power coming up. Here we go. crazy noise coming up, guys. Look at the gains we've got already. The red line is where we started. The green line is where we're at now. You can see this thing is still steady pulling when it hits the rev limiter, okay? So why don't we rev these things higher? Obviously, we can make more power. Well, that's because these things are known to have rod failure. The rods in these things cannot hold, revving them out any farther. They do break, unfortunately, guys. It would be no big deal for me to change the rev limiter and make it rev higher. Due to the longevity and the safety of the engine, we choose not to do that. So we're gonna keep dialing in this air-fuel ratio, but look at this, how we fixed all this, basically where it was way too lean. Look at our power gains that we've got there already. We're not done tuning yet, guys. So we're getting close to being finished with the ECU process on this R1S, but let's go in and talk about why did we only have 158 horsepower to start with, okay? So we got our Woolich Racing program. This is the program we use to flash and tune the ECUs. So we're gonna go in and open up a new file from an R1S, and I'm gonna show you a little bit about what's going on with this thing, okay? So we go in here and click our other maps table, and then you can see the electronic throttle valve, power mode 1, which is what we're running in it, and then we're dynoing it in gear 5. So we'll look at that first. You can see these tables up here. This is the throttle percentage. That's how much gas your hand is giving it. This over here is the RPMs that the bike is getting. All these numbers on this graph here, this is the amount of throttle the ECU is giving the bike. So you can see over here, 100% throttle, boom, we lock it, we go all the way down, and look at our tables here, guys. They are not at 100%. So even though you're wide open, the ECU, you're like this, but the ECU is going backwards. Not what you want, guys. So you can see at 11,500 RPMs, it went to 100% throttle, and then immediately after that, 84% throttle. So let's go back to our dyno graph. We're gonna pull up run number 1, and then you can see here is our peak horsepower, 158. What do you know? It's at 11,700 RPMs. We go back to this, 11.5, that's where we go 100%, and then immediately after that, we have got a reduction in throttle. So let's go back to like gear 1. Pretty much the exact same thing, but just a little bit sooner and a little bit lazier in the throttle plates. Now, we go in and adjust all these tables for you to wake this thing up. We also do it in power mode 1 and in power mode 2. So in power mode 2, the bike will ride smoother as you're cruising around, but when you go wide open and lock the throttle, your horsepower will be the same as mode 1. So mode 1, mode 2, the same horsepower after we flash it, but mode 2 will ride and cruise around smoother than mode 1. ECU on these bikes, super easy to get to. You can see literally I had to remove that screw and that screw, and then the ECU just slides right out. It sits basically right in here behind that panel. So you can pop that out, send us the ECU, we flash it, send it right back to you, get all your restrictions removed, get the bike riding, driving, cruising around way smoother. Then if you want that Woolich Racing Quickshifter, you can just contact us. We can get you one of those, send it to you. It's simply plug and play, guys. Look, bolt here, bolt here, bolt here, that's it. You got one wire that runs up in here, plugs into your factory exhaust servo connections. So the exhaust servo was sitting right in here. We don't need that anymore with our aftermarket exhaust. We don't need a servo buddy with our ECU Flash. All that stuff is deleted. Our factory Quickshifter, or I say factory Quickshifter, our Woolich Racing Quickshifter plugs in to the factory connections. No removing the gas tank, no bunch of BS to install it, no bunch of extra wires. Real simple, clean installation, and that gets us the Quickshifter, that gets us the launch control, and the auto blip, guys. Now, a common question I get asked, can I get auto blip on my, let's just say GSXR 750? The answer to that is no. If your bike does not have an electronic throttle valve, meaning if the throttle is not electronic, then you cannot do auto blip. If the ECU on your bike does not control your throttle, no auto blip for you, unfortunately. But if the ECU does control it, this Woolich Racing Race Tools shifter kit will do what you gotta do. Here we go, guys. Let's get our final pulls for this thing and see what the before and after is now that we're finished. Guys, big gains on this Yamaha R1. Take a look at what the final numbers we came up with is. 175 horsepower, 79.9 foot-pounds of torque. We started out with 158 and 74. You can see overall power gains super good and very consistent throughout the whole entire RPM curve. Look at how much better our air-fuel ratio is. You can see here at 5,000 and 6,000 RPMs, where the bike was super lean, we got huge gains right there. So overall, very nice. Plus no more top-end restrictions on this thing. Our top speed is now no longer held back by the ECU. So let's go in here and look and compare these numbers at, what is this, 6,700 RPMs. We went from 69 horsepower to 83 horsepower, and then we went from 53 foot-pounds of torque to 65. Now this is an RPM range you're gonna be in almost every single time you ride the bike. Definitely what you gotta have. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hit us up, mooremafia.com. If you don't have an R1S, don't worry, we do plenty more bikes. Go check out our website. It shows you everything we have to offer at mooremafia.com. If you're not already, be sure you subscribe to the channel. We do all kind of fun stuff like this. We go to the racetrack. Did I mention we go in the 5s over 230 miles an hour to quarter mile? Yeah. All that same stuff, same channel, guys. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know what I ought to do. We'll see you next time.